I'm going to go over a quick guide on how to do a breakout rooms in Google Meet. So the first thing that you're going to want to do before you start your class is I would have your meets already set up. So I don't recommend having more than 4 meets at a time. After that, it gets a little hard to manage. So I'm going to open up 4 different Google Meets. So my main room is going to be the room where all of my class, my students would log in. So I would join or start a meeting. So basically you would start the meeting. And for me, I'm going to, call this V choice and maybe it's period 1A. So that will be my main meeting room. So all of the kids, when they come to class, this is where they would come. Then you have 3 other meeting rooms. So in those 3 other meeting rooms, they're going to have their own nicknames. So I'm going to join, and I am going to I'm going to start this meeting, and I'm going to call this V choice, and I'll call this one group A. Then I will have, so now I've got 2 Google Meets that are running at the same time, and you can tell that 2 Google Meets are running at the same time because you will see the red dot saying that the meeting is being run. So start a meeting, and this will be V-Choice Group B, and then start a meeting. This one will be V-Choice Group C. So you can really call them anything you want. Just try to make it as specific as possible. That way meeting codes don't get copied. So as you can see on my screen, I've got 3 Google Meets that are all running at the same time. In your main meeting room, when you are giving students instructions, I definitely recommend putting in the chat box and then also displaying on the screen what the different codes are. So I would put in my chat box just so students can copy and paste. I would type in V choice group A. I would type in V choice group B, V choice group C. And then whatever criteria you have to separate your students, you want to make sure you communicate that with them. So maybe group A is going to be people whose birthday is between January to April and then May to August. So however you want to break up your groups, make sure you share that criteria with your students. I always leave my main room open because that's going to be where I will the teacher, I recommend facilitating a group or just being there so students can just pop in and ask questions if students are working independently, or if you just want to work with a small group of students yourself, definitely leave your main room open. As you are navigating through your Google Meets, one of the things that you want to make sure you are aware of is kind of like if you're in the class with everyone and they're already in your groups, you want to double check to make sure your microphone and your camera is on. If there are instructions that you need to give to all of your students. So I'm in my 3rd meeting room, I'm checking my microphone is on, my camera is on. So this means no matter what group the students are in, they can all see and hear you. So this group, I forgot to turn my camera on. So I'm going to turn my camera on so they know that I'm there in the group. Now let's say you want to make sure that only one group can hear you. What I would do is to let the students know that you're leaving, turn off your camera, turn off your camera and your microphone. That way the students can't hear you. Turn off your camera and your microphone so that group knows that you're not with them anymore. And then this group, they can still see and hear me. So that's the basics on just how to set up and just kind of monitor the sound and monitor the video on your Google Meets if you're going to use breakout rooms. When you're ready to bring the class back together, unmute yourself and turn your camera back on in every single room, and then that's when you would bring your whole group back together so you can close out your activity.